Hey guys, your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge. Got two of our OG homies, Chad and Ryan, over here. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's
How you
up?
doing?
So we are smoking one that we have been teasing the hell out of Ryan about for a hot minute.
Yes, you
Um,
have.
So we're not going to tease y'all. We are smoking Adventura's Blue Eye Jack's Revenge. So this little bad boy right here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And this band is fantastic. So the reason we have been teasing Ryan a little bit is me and Chad have smoked this one. It's one of my tops in Adventuras. I'll throw that out there right now. Sorry for that teaser. Ryan has not smoked it. We realized he had not smoked this particular blend yet, and we teased him and told him that he wasn't allowed to smoke it until we could let him have a blind buy on the show. And our other OG, Justin, gave us the permission to go ahead and let Ryan smoke this today without him being on the show so we can stop teasing this man. So we're going to finally pull that out today for you guys. And now I've got a Robusto because I bought a box of these, which I know is a Gordo guy that's crazy, and I'll pull that out a while later. But both of you guys got Toros, right? If I'm not mistaken.
My favorite size, got the Toro.
Nice. So I'm only going to give you the very short and skinny before we get into this, so that way we can talk about what we're going to feel today. Excuse me. But this is, again, Adventura's Blue Eye Jack's Revenge. A lot of times you'll hear it just shortened to Blue Eye Jack. It has a Mexican San Andres wrapper. The binder and long fillers are both from the Dominican. And you know what? I'm not yet going to talk about the expected notes. We're going to do this blind. I'll piggy this back and see if we match it. So I'm going to come back to that later.
Well, the San Andreas definitely gives you the pepper right out the gate, and that's pretty known, and it's very good.
So the thing I can't believe is that you haven't tried this yet.
Dude, I've been so disciplined to not do that. I have had all the other Venturas except for this one, and I've been holding out.
And
Shout out to the Queen's Pearl. My little
got his ring up again.
Pre-smoke ring. Pre-smoke ring.
Nice.
Corona today, that's why I won't go all the way down to my finger.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, we man, how long? I don't even know how long has it been now since we've been talking about doing this where we haven't let you smoke it. It's got to be months, if not a year, at this point.
I think it's coming up probably close to a year.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure this was like when they come out with all of them, right? When we started getting the sampler of each flavor, Chad had sent me a bunch of the different blends.
I bought a box of Barbaro and a box of Blue Eye Jack, and then I think Pat bought some right around the same time. It has to have been a year. I mean, I don't know if I sent them to you a year ago, but these sticks are over a year old. But I think we might have had them on the show list for 9 months at least.
It's very possible because.
Do you date those when you put them in, Pat, or no?
No, I date them when I have them. I've never thought to date the list when we add them to our show box. But when I got these, I can tell you, was July of 2024 when I bought my box, and I feel it wasn't just like a month or two after that when we put them in the box. So I think we've had it in our show list box for
almost a year,
if not, yeah. Because we were talking about ADV stuff and realized that he hadn't somehow smoked this one at the time, which at the time made sense because we were smoking through all of them.
Yeah.
And every time we said, well, we're going to try to wait out until we get all four of us. And the one time we did, we wanted to pull the room 101 first. And then we've just been trying to schedule, and one of the four of us couldn't line up right.
Yep.
And we almost had to set it aside again today. And Justin just told us to go ahead and do it so we can stop teasing this man. So
that's my boy.
Yeah, I think he would have shot somebody by proxy if we told you we couldn't do this again.
Did you retro it off the light up, Ryan?
Oh yeah, the light pepper on the retro is so nice. It's got a little hint of like a cashew nut or in there, and a little bit.
I get a little bit of citrus, like orange peel, right at light up. But it went right away. But I don't know if it was a strange note that I was molding together, but I was tasting citrus.
Nice.
Well, now that y'all have done your initial, the expected notes it says on this is it does have a creamy mixed nut feel, a sweet floral with a hint of pepper, and just a generically balanced profile after that. So your nuts and your pepper are your primary two.
Yeah.
So
the smoke output is phenomenal.
Right. And
I just smoked a Blue Eyed Jack's Revenge High Tide the other day. I got a box recently, and that cigar is so much different than this cigar. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet, but
I have not yet.
You guys will both like it because it's a heavy, strong cigar.
Okay. Well, as to explain my Robusto now, I will preface that my lovely wife got me my recent box of Barbaroa's Invasion and Blue Eyed Jack Revenge, and at the time that she went and purchased them, the location she got them from was just out of stock on the Toro, so she got me to the Robusto. And what that has done for me personally, I have figured out that in those two blends specifically, I actually like the flavor in the Robusto. It's got that extra little bit of pepper.
Yeah, it's probably a little sharper.
It is a subtle difference.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it's just enough that in these two specifically, and I've smoked them both in the Toro, and they're still great cigars. But for whatever reason, these two that I do actually like in the Robusto.
If you take them down to the Corona, it even amplifies more the spice on them. So both of those blends, Barbaroa and Blue Eyed Jack.
So I've had it in the Barbaroa. The Blue Eyed Jack, I haven't. However, when I was looking in my list, I do have two of these in the Corona that came from Smoke Inn's the Great Smoke event this year. So I have them, but I have not hit this one in the Corona. I will eventually when I decide to pull one of those out.
You know what you should do though? You've had those long enough, is you should smoke one tomorrow so you have like a really quick comparison. You know what I mean? So you remember.
Yeah.
You say, yeah, that is spicier, or no, it wasn't, whatever.
Idea.
You can. I like doing that when it's that close together. Then you can get a better feel for it. If you wait another month or two, you're gonna have a hard time remembering.
That's fair. If I don't do that, if I don't do that tomorrow, the next time I pull one of these out, I may just very well do that on purpose.
Yeah, because you're gonna smoke 100 cigars by the time you get back to that Corona. You know what I mean? So
at least
probably legit. So it's like it's kind of hard to compare apples to apples when you're that far away.
Well, since Ryan was talking about samplers, Chad, you may know this better without me looking. Now that I want to say this, I can't think. The sampler that Hendo put out,
Captain's Collection.
Was this was in there as well, wasn't it? It was one of them.
Yeah. So Captain's Collection is Queen's Pearl, King's Gold, Navigator, Conqueror, Explorer, Blue Eyed Jack, Barbaroa, and then the eighth cigar is the Black Fins Parlay, the new one, which won't be out until next year.
Um, is there any flavor or hit difference on that Vitola?
That little box press Bellicosa is a spicy little, and I think it amps up all the blends. Like they're all stronger, in my opinion, in that smaller Vitola.
Okay.
So and kind of like you said, going from a Toro to a Robusto, it gets
Right.
a little bit stronger. And the same thing when you go to a Corona. Um, the ring gauge is a box press, so it's kind of in between a Robusto and Corona size, but it's a shorter Vitola with a different tip. So I think
Gotcha.
they all smoke a little bit spicier than I would say any of the Robustos or Toros.
I was curious about that. So yeah, but I was curious about the Captain's Collection because I haven't had it yet. So I was curious about the Vitola difference. Because like you're saying, if I'm feeling a difference between the Toro and the Robusto, I'm curious if that box pressed Bellicosa would hit different. So I've been
They're
slacking
just a bit spicier.
a bit spicier,
Yeah.
which would be good for me. So maybe I do need to actually jump on getting that sampler so I can test that.
They're
But
great size too. Like the size of them is perfect. Like I know you like having like those 30-minute smokes for driving. These are like probably
right.
40. Like
That's fine.
they're a nice short little smoke. So good to have around.
There's so much here around town that, like, I mean, if I'm running just up the street to the grocery store or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But, being it's not like Dallas Fort Worth, mind you, but it's still the Twin Cities here. They're smaller, but it's just enough. If I got to go somewhere across town, it may take me 30 minutes. So those little, having some sort of Petacrona or something, one of the super short Robustos or, sounds like this would be a good thing to throw in the mix to run it around. So 40 minutes, I can roll with that. That just means I may have to sit in the parking lot for an extra 5 minutes. Darn.
Yeah.
Horrible.
The other Vitola they make that I love is the short Robusto, and I usually get that in the Explorer format.
There's a 4-inch, right?
Yeah, it's about 4 inches.
Something
It's
like that.
about the size of a 4x44. It's actually a little bigger ring gauge though. I think it's actually a 48 or 50 ring gauge, but it's
Okay.
3.5 or 4 inches long. It's a great smoke for 30-35 minutes.
Nice. Is that is it the Explorer, the one that you get that one in a lot, or is it the Queen's?
Yeah, the Explorer. Yep. The red banded Explorer is the one I get that in most of the time. I don't know if they have it in the other. Actually, I haven't checked to see. I know they don't. In the King's Gold, they have that little
The tooth.
tooth, which
Yep.
is kind of a similar. It's a box press, but it's a short smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if they have that in any of the other lines. I don't think they do, but now I'm gonna have to go look.
I know you sent me. Well, actually, the first time I ever smoked the King's Gold period is when you sent me a couple Gold's tooth in one of our trades.
Yeah,
Talk about an introduction to that one.
Yeah,
that cigar is so good.
So good.
They used to sell them in the bundles, in the 10-pack bundles, but they stopped doing that. Now they're coming in the boxes, so you can buy them in the 20-count boxes now. Which I like the 10-packs because they're more affordable.
Right.
It's $100. You get 10 sticks instead of having to commit to double that, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
I do like having the option to get less sometimes,
True. Much you can mix up, if you're working on a budget, you can mix it up.
Get more, you can mix up more for your money. Sure, I love that.
It definitely has a nice coffee and cream mixture in this first third right now. Like it really does. I mean, the nut's still there on my palate, but the coffee and cream is just like really pleasing to my palate.
It is.
I'm getting. I never thought about cashew before, but it's almost a creamy nut, and so that makes sense. I'm getting a lot of coffee with that, so.
Well, I meant to start this show, but I pulled that little scotch out. Nothing crazy. Well, y'all seen me pull this out before. Just Deanston's. Well, you know what the lights are going
That's
to
your
do.
go-to, isn't it?
It is one of my probably top 3. My top scotch is probably. It might be Chivas, maybe. But I have to think about it. But this is in my top 3, and I learned about this one from Cigar Fest a couple years ago when I met with Justin. Actually, I think that was the first day I met him in person ever, actually. But I know this one works great with everything ADV except for maybe Queen's Pearl.
It's probably a little light for that.
Yeah, but it works great for everything else. So I knew I was bringing that one out today. I just forgot to pour it up a minute ago. I'm slacking over here.
Speaking of Queen's Pearls, I'm excited because I have a shipment en route of the new Queen's Pearls Diadema.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yeah, and they're coming. They come out of Renegade Cigars down in Texas. It's a shop exclusive they have.
I didn't realize that was their exclusive. I missed that.
Yeah, that's a shop exclusive for them. Just like Ronnie got that box press Robusto Gordo.
Yep.
They got a Diadema. It's essentially the same exact mold that they did the High Tide Blue Eye Jack in.
Okay.
You know, the new Blue Eye Jack. It's just a Diadema. It's the same exact mold, I think, but it's a Connecticut. So
it'd be smart for them to do that, so you're not wasting money on the molds.
yeah, because molds are expensive, right? And that's
Yeah,
one of
they
the
are.
things you hear these manufacturers talk about is when they have to replace molds and things like that. They're really expensive. So
It's something
obviously utilizing them for more than one Vitola or blend is probably common.
Yeah.
It's something you think about, but not purposely. And I remember whenever, Osaka, whenever he's talking about his unicorns a while back, there was a stall. And I may get this wrong, but you'll get the pretense. It was either a stall or something. They either had to get more molds or they had to replace them or whatever it was. And he was telling us the price of just the molds. It's like, you don't think about that. You think about the tobacco and the bands and the people rolling it. But you don't think about the molds that they're putting them in and the cost that it takes to make sure that these cigars look as pristine in whatever shape you want them to look into.
I think what he talked about was they actually make, and I might be wrong, I might be way off on this. I should text him. But I think that they only do the broadleafs in one place. And so I think they share the molds between factories.
Okay.
And it might have been the OG.
Yeah.
Did you hear that too, Ryan?
I heard that before too.
And so they were passing it back and forth, and that was part of the delay I think you're talking about, Pat.
Okay.
They were waiting on the molds to come because the other factory had them,
and so sharing them
I'm
instead
gonna find that out now. That's
even if you're wrong, that would make sense because if you're sharing them, the amount of money that you're spending for molds, if you can do that versus making an entire new set of custom molds, that would get pricey in a heartbeat.
Right. Yeah.
I
think all the broadleaf comes out of Noxa, and I think that the Brule Blue comes out of Hoya de Nicaragua, out of the Hoya factory. So I think that those two are made in two different factories, if I'm not wrong. But I'm probably wrong. So
I mean, it sounds just vaguely familiar enough. If you're not right, you're probably really close.
I know who I can ask, and I'll get a good answer. So,
like I tell you every time, you know a guy.
You do.
Yep. We'll figure it out. We'll update on the next show.
Right.
We'll update on the next show.
And Ryan beat me to the punch on this, but I love the smoke I put on these things.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And the
draw, the smoke. I mean, it is just hammered down. Fantastic cigar all the way through.
And I will say that even knowing we were doing this show, I forgot to dry box this. So I pulled this out like 6 hours ago.
Yeah, I pulled mine out
7 hours ago. So
6 o'clock this thing came out.
and didn't really get a dry box. So
Yep.
it's still coming out of the humidor that's 67, 68. So, and it's still got this much smoke without it really drying out any. So
I didn't check mine. I didn't put a gauge on it, but I pulled it right out of our show bag, and
right.
it probably was out for an hour and a half before we started. So it
Yeah,
didn't get any dry time either.
but you
But
can
this is
imagine
one that I'll normally pull right out of humidor and smoke.
hmm
I don't always feel the need to dry box. Most of the ADV stuff I don't.
right. I've noticed that with ADV, I can pull them out and smoke them. Well, personally, I'll clarify. I can pull almost anything out because I prefer to smoke mine just a little bit, well, a little bit more moisture than you do. But my Cubans are the ones that I still like to smoke lower, and I kind of feel that these olive ADVs kind of smoke that way for me. That I almost usually like them just a hair drier than pretty much anything else in the New World stuff. Where the New World I like it in the 66 to 68 range smoking it. But my Cubans I like them, the 60, 62 lower stuff. So, but ADV I kind of just pull them out, and like today's an oddball because I didn't pull them out, but a lot of times I'll keep them in the humidor with my my Cuban stuff, so because that one's set a little bit lower, and smoke's just great. Just pull it out from there, but I don't know
Like
why.
a long-term dry box.
Yeah, more or less. I've got one humidor that turned into a kind of a weird blessing. It doesn't. I can't find it, but it just doesn't hold humidity. So I don't know if there's just a crack in the seal or whatever. But I'll put 69-degree Bovedas in there, and like clockwork, that sucker sits at 62.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't. The packs might try to dry out a little bit, so I'll have to replace them or keep them humidified or saturated or whatever. But it holds at like 62, even though it should be higher. So it works great for put all my Cubans and stuff in there, and the stuff that I want to be dry, I purposely put in there. And a lot of times I'll put my ADV stuff in there before I'm ready to smoke it. Let them sit for a little while, kind of come down to that lower range. I didn't on this one because I just straight forgot to move everything. But
Have you retroed this, Pat?
I have. I will retro this one more than Barbaroa.
Yeah, I get it.
Barbaroa got the extra spice, but I like this one because it gives me that pepper hit without it burning my nostrils out.
Yeah, it's a light pepper on the retro. It is.
Yeah, I'm going right into just straight coffee now, and maybe some wood. Some of that pepper's backing off too.
I get
about halfway.
heavy. I get heavy wood the majority of this.
Yeah, I'm getting some wood too. Wood and coffee, kind of a mixture. The nuttiness and the creamy nuttiness is kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah,
for me.
I'm having to make sure I don't do what I normally do and chief this thing, or I will be talking to you guys without a cigar. But that's because I have the smaller size today. That's is what it is.
Justin would insert a joke right there.
He would.
We miss you, buddy.
We miss you, Justin. I don't know. Like it's. I kind of partial to this. Has nothing to do with the blend. If this doesn't, I'm blow myself up. But this doesn't show great on my lights. I'll put up a close-up picture. But we talk about bands. See if it's gonna focus or not. It's trying to. All right, so cover myself up here. Let's do the OG trick here. It ain't gonna do it, is it? No.
It made it worse.
It made it worse.
You shadowed it.
Yeah, I just shattered it.
Let me see.
See
Let's
if
see if I can get one.
Because what I like is I like how ADV's got the band, right. They still have the 3-sided trident, if you will. I forget the word that Hendo uses at the moment, but I like the color variances in the back, right? And of course they rock it with the pirate theme. Like Barbaroa's got, it's I mean, the word invasion is in the cigar. It's very piratey, but So it's got the bold colors, the reds and the darker tones, and Blue Eye Jack more throwing it, to the open sea. But I love scuba diving. I love water. I love, snorkeling, all those things. So from a graphical standpoint, I don't know, I just gravitate to the way that this one looks. And you kind of got the waves and the sea in the background, and you've got a very subtle, like, shadow holograph of, Blue Eye Jack right behind him. And, he's got, if you look really closely if you're looking at it, be on your right side, right beside Blue Eye Jack, it makes it look like he's got the pirate's patch in blue, right?
Yep, exactly.
So it's, I don't know. From a graphical standpoint, I really like it. And if that doesn't show up, then I'll do a close-up roll after this and overlay it on top of it. It's just a graphical thing for me. That has nothing to do with the blend, but I just really like the way that it pops. The colors are good.
So did you notice that in your box, Pat, that none of the bands are the same as far as the background?
Background's got a slight, subtle change to it.
I think it's just like they must have used a giant sheet of that, and then it's just randomly placed. Because every band, if you look at it, it'll have a lighter spot and a different, be over to the right, or a darker spot there. It changes. Like every band is different when you look at it.
Yeah,
I mean, the main components are the
thing
same.
is there, right? That background is kind of shifted. Yeah,
I think that's pretty neat.
Because, oh,
what happened?
Dun.
Oh, you're Ash.
And I asked the first time, or I showed it, and then I asked it because I knew it was coming. But
I've been Ash all along.
Yeah,
all along.
I can definitely say this is well worth the wait. This is a fantastic cigar that will be going in the rotation for sure.
I was going to purposely ask you that question at the end, but I guess you're ready to answer already, which is good.
Right.
Good.
Have you had the Barbaroa, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
You like that? Because you like spicy stuff.
Yeah, I like
You bought a box of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right
on. This is the only one that you, except for the like brand new ones. That
new releases.
You had all the rest of them by now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, for those of you watching, what this show presents is that out of the four of us that are always planning, we have our own group chat. We're planning shows, what we're going to smoke next, blah, blah, blah. What this means is that Ryan is the better co-host because we've had about a year of teasing this man and rescheduling and not being able to pull this out. And he still waited to smoke the cigar with the group. We gave Chad one task with Greg 3 and Fortaleza Libre to not smoke the GMFF. And this dude technically didn't smoke it because he worked around it and went and got another one and smoked that one.
I did.
Tell him the dirty secrets. Tell him the dirty secrets.
Well, I sent Pat a message and I was like, I have a confession to make. Sorry, I smoked the GMMF.
And I'll throw him out there because Chad threw himself under the bus on a show. So,
yeah. I told Greg he thought it was funny because that's the way it happened. Was I got one from Pat to smoke on the show, and then I saw Greg at PCA, and he gave me that cigar, and I was like, I told him there, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to wait till we get you back on to smoke this, and then that thought lasted about a week, and then I smoked it, so I couldn't wait.
Anybody that knows Chad knows that he's impatient when it comes to his cigars.
Right.
He's going to get one right out of the box and right out the gate.
It's like every time I talk about something that I'm purposely trying to stall, whether it's because I'm aging it or I'm just not ready to smoke it yet, and he's just like, dude, just smoke it already.
Right.
I'm getting there, man.
Well, you're notorious for at least a year, so.
I am.
Yeah, I don't have those kind of patience.
Well, it took a hot minute to get to that point, because, you have to keep – this is not something as a new cigar smoker I was able to do at all, right? Because, when I had my small humidor starting out like we all do at some point, I couldn't wait a year. I'd run out of cigars. So it gradually took time to build up to where I have that rotation. So now, if I get a box of something or a bundle or whatever – I might smoke one. I'll let it get here and be here for a few days and reacclimate, and then go and smoke one, and then the rest of them kind of go to the side, and I'll let them rotate through. And everybody knows at this point by all my singles, unless there's one that I'm specifically just craving, which happens most of the time, I'll put them in the bottom of that Herfador, and by the time I've rotated, because that's all my singles are in there, so by the time it rotates up, it's naturally been a year before I touch it again because there's so many singles in there. So
Yeah, you touched on two things there. So the one is I don't have the patience. So if I buy a box and I'm craving one, I'll smoke it, and then the next day I'll smoke another, and the next day I'll smoke another, or 3 days later, or whatever.
box
The
is
other
gone.
thing but the other thing I like to do is get a box and then like buy it new and check the progression randomly. So I'll smoke one right away, and then I might smoke one in a month, and I might smoke one in 2 months, and 3 months, and 4 months, and see kind of how it's progressing. Because as you know, when it ages, it gets just sometimes they get a little better, sometimes they don't change, but
Right.
normally they get a little better the longer they sit. But so I like to check,
And it does change things. And when we had the box press guys on there using that app, you told them, one of the reasons I like doing it is I can go back and look. Like I smoked this cigar now, and let's say this is the first time I've ever smoked this cigar. I'm going to give you my rating on it. And then as I continuously update it, I'm going to tell you like, hey, this is an updated review, or this is a continued review. Or if it's 6 months later and it tastes exactly the same, I'll tell you, hey, duplicate review, even if it's just a copy and paste and not a single thing has changed. So
yeah, I saw one you did the other day where you were like, this is peaked out, I think, because you were like, this is the third or fourth time I've smoked it, and this is the highest score it's gotten. I think I don't remember what it was. It was an obscure cigar that I didn't know much about, but
I'll check while we're talking. I think I might still have it saved in my screenshots because I remember that. Because I remember whatever it was, like there was a few things where I had, I remember the undertone of this where it had like gradually gone up. Like the first one was decent, and then every time it went up to a point. But I think it was like the 6-7 month mark. Every cigar that I've had since it was like 3 in a row were dead even. It's like, okay, well this is where the progression stops.
right, it's as good as it's getting.
Yeah, good as it gets. And let's see. I'm either going to have this in the last few days or I'm not, but I feel like that was pretty recent, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, this was like within the last week. I think I saw this post.
Yep. Let's see. So if
I just happened to, I don't always read the notes on them. I just like
right.
check your scores and stuff. But this one, like in the notes, it was kind of funny. I read them and I was like, that's comical.
I wish I could remember this. Oh, it's the Oliva Inferno. Yeah, it said this, after a third review, this appears to be the plateau after a year of rest, where the first one landed at 70, but it finally improved slightly, landing at an 80. And then I put some more notes in there. But yeah, because I think my first one, it said my first one I ever smoked was a 70 because the flavor just wasn't there. The next one was like a 72, 73. Then it creeped up to like 75. I was like gradually pulling the oils and the flavors out. And then so I thought it was 6 or 7 months, but a year, after a full year, then I've had 2 or 3 since, and they've all been, consistent. So
when it caps at 80, you just need to give them the Cigars for Warriors.
Yeah, they're good cigars. It just didn't. I guess I expected to kind of like pull it out of it later, and it just ish, But if you're
I'm too old to smoke just good cigars. I want to smoke great cigars. I'm too old.
Right.
I don't have time
if I
for
was a
good
guy
cigars.
that can smoke while I mow or something, it'd be one thing. But I'm not very good. Like if I'm doing hands-on work where I can pick it up, set it down, I'm that kind of guy. But I can't smoke and mow. It just, I don't know. It's weird to me. Some guys can do that all day long. So if I was able to do that, I might pull those out. But
I got an electric mower, and I smoke when I mow. But I just always try to smoke something I don't have to pay attention to, like a bronze back Robusto or something that I know so well. I've smoked 100 of them that I don't have to pay any attention to it, and I enjoy it. And something that's not too expensive. That way, if I set it down and forget it, which I've done.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Dump in the bag or something, leave it in the grass, forget about it.
Well, a slight teaser, and I'm not going to go far on this, but little slight color match with the blue. The hat has nothing to do with the show. This is Vortex. If you're a gun lover, that's just one of the brands. But One Tribe Foundation. So this is a teaser because we're going to get these guys on the show at some point. So I'm not going to steal thunder and talk about it. But since we support some vet stuff around here with Cigars for Warriors, and there's some other ones that we've talked about. One Tribe Foundation is out of the Dallas area in Texas, but their original name was 22 Kill, and it was referencing the veteran suicide number that had been stagnant forever, 22 a day. And there's a lot of organizations that have gone helping suicide prevention in any gambit. And luckily, good news is they had to change their name a couple years ago because the national average had dropped to like 18 to 19. So it's still a very high number, right? But we're kind of starting to come down the right direction. And so they changed the name, and they also support, first responders of all types. So it's not just military anymore. I'm not going to go full tilt to that because I want to give a couple guys that are going to try to come on the show. I talked to them, just a week or two ago. And here in a couple of months, we think they're going to be able to line up, come on the show and talk about it. So just a little teaser. But if you don't, if y'all are watching, you like, supporting, any one of those type of avenues, then go look them up. But I kind of pulled it out for some color references and then figured, why not throw a little future teaser? But I like supporting stuff. Looking forward to supporting, I love supporting stuff that, in a biased reason helps vets, but we would do that anyway because, we're all about freedom here, and that's what lets us smoke all this stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm anxious. We're not there yet, but I'm already kind of anxious for our winter job for CFW because got another cool sponsorship coming up. So we're always looking forward to the next one. And you guys can send in wherever. You don't have to wait for the drive. If you want to send them in, we'll hold them. So if you're wanting to find out how to donate ahead of time, just ask us and we'll hook you up. So you don't have to wait till then.
When will that one start and stop?
As of right now, to keep our schedule be December 1st to January 15th. So
okay.
Anything that I catch in that window. Now that's the official drive, but the dates that I send them off every year is July 15th and January 15th. And then the 6 weeks prior, we hit the drive, and that's where we're posting stuff all the time, hitting hard and heavy. But we'll accept, anything throughout the year and push it to that next drive and hold it off and count it for the numbers. But officially it'll be January 1st to, December 1st to January 15th.
Are you guys boxing fans? Are you excited about this fight coming up?
I used to watch boxing a lot, and I can't even lie. I haven't really paid much attention the last few years. I kind of checked out. So I don't even know who the fight is, and I'm not even sure who you're talking about. I'm going to be honest with you.
Crawford and Alvarez. It's probably the biggest fight in the last 10 years. So, Canelo is the biggest name in boxing for the last 10 years. But I'm excited about it because he's coming up. Crawford's coming up a weight to fight him.
What date is that? Like I said, I'm so
it's this weekend. It's on Saturday.
Okay. So it's okay.
I think it's on Netflix. If I understand right, it's on Netflix.
So it's soon enough. By the time this airs, it'll be past. So I didn't even know when it was. Okay, I have not even been. I think the last time that I was really in recent past involved in boxing at all was probably when Manny Pacquiao was doing all his things, and that's I kind of
well, he just came back a while back for a fight and got roasted. It was a bad deal, but so I have to look forward to something because my Lions got cooked this weekend. So I feel like there's going to be a lot more of that on the horizon too. So they're going to have a rough year.
As a Chargers fan, I'm happy because anytime in the modern era that we beat the Chiefs, it's a good day. I don't care how it happened. So I'm just stoked and hoping that that's a foreshadowing of something good for the year. Because, man, I've been a Chargers fan since I'll say about 2009. I liked them before, but that's when I kind of came a hardcore. Being out in San Diego when they were there, I got to go to the games a lot, and it just beefed it up. We've always had Hall of Famers, always had really good players, and just can't quite keep the team clutch enough to get over the hump. You know, it's like you just it's kind of like everybody talks about the Cowboys. It's like you actually have good players, and you go to the end, and then you just face plant. Well, the Chargers been doing the same thing. So I talk a lot of mad trash to my Cowboys fans being over here, but it's because I know we do the same thing. You know, so I'm hoping that maybe there's some positive foreshadowing coming along for us.
It's funny you say the Cowboys. I've been watching that. They have a Netflix documentary on when Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys. It's actually pretty good. It's worth watching if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff.
I was afraid to watch it because I didn't know if it was just going to be a suck up to Jerry or if it's actually going to be good.
No, it goes through a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Because I've always kind of had a bad opinion of Jerry Jones, and it's kind of changed my mind on him just a little bit. Just the way he came up and how he bought that team, and it's interesting. So
I think and I'm not gonna because I haven't watched it, so I don't know those details. But you kind of make me want to watch it now. But
it's good. You'll like it.
Jerry Jones to me is very similar to how Dean Spanos is for the Chargers, and this is why I kind of make this correlation. If both of them would just own the team, but manage the team, and let the coaches be the coaches that they've hired to be coaches, I think they would have a better turnoff. It's just he just can't keep his hand out of the inner workings of the pot. It's like if you're going to hire people to do these jobs, let them do the jobs.
It's just like what was the old Raiders owner, Al? What was his name? The crazy guy. That owned the Raiders. Same thing with him. He just couldn't keep his hands out of the cookie jar.
Yep. Same with my team with Washington. It was the same thing.
I was going to ask you, who's your team? Washington? They looked good last year. Are they going to be good this year?
I think they're going to be even better this year. We picked up.
They were tough last year. They beat us up.
Oh, Al Davis. That's who you're talking about.
Embarrassed. Al Davis, yeah. So you're a Washington fan. All right. That makes sense. I was going to ask you who you root for because you're kind of in no man's land out there with no team.
Yeah. Now, Washington's close enough for us. So, and then I was a Baltimore Orioles fan always growing up, and then until the Washington Nationals came out. And then
does Virginia have any professional sports teams?
No.
Just like no base. I'm thinking baseball, no. Hockey, no. Football, no.
Just DC, which, I mean, it's in Virginia, but, it's its own part. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess you could be a Nationals, right? Nationals fan.
Yeah.
Do they?
That's the DC team, right?
They have any obscure, professional sports at all? This is a good question. So I asked Google, does Virginia have any professional sports teams? No.
Yep.
It does not have any teams in the major professional sports leagues. Yep. Okay.
It's like Indiana doesn't have a baseball team.
So their highest professional team is the Richmond Flying Squirrels in baseball.
Yeah.
So a double or triple A team?
Yep. Yeah. Now we have a Fred Nats here local in town. So
what's that?
It's like a triple A team.
Okay.
So
those games are fun to go to. We have one in Lansing, and it's like $12 for a ticket, and it's just a blast. They have something every other inning. They're out there entertaining you, doing fun stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Like Tuesdays is like the best night. It's like $2 tacos and $2 to get in for standing only. I mean, it's perfect. They got like a playground area for the kids, so like we don't ever get seats hardly. The kids always running around, but it's fun.
Yeah, and whenever I've been to a game at the Lansing teams, the Lugnuts is what they're called. You can buy a ticket, but about 3 innings in, you can sit wherever you want. You can just go right up front and sit because there's empty seats that people don't use. They have season tickets and they come to half the games, and it's a lot of fun.
And it's nice with those guys because they play 1 week on, 1 week is away. You know what I mean? So you can catch pretty easily. And they do fireworks on Friday nights, and then Sunday they'd let the kids run around the bases after the game's over. So they make it fun for
How
families.
close is that to you?
Oh, it's like 20 minutes from me. So
Okay,
Nice.
yeah. Mine's about 45 or 50. It's not too bad, but
We used to have, and it's had multiple names over the years, but the Independence Bowl Stadium is here in Shreveport, and they do a good job of keeping that stadium up, well kept. And on the other side, it's right by the fairgrounds. So on the other, it's a huge parking lot for parking. On the other end of the parking lot was the minor league baseball stadium, and started. I want to say it was like in the 50s or 60s when they started doing stuff back then. And multiple times they've had a team. It's let go, and I don't understand. It's on the same parking lot. All the money has gone into Independence Stadium, and nobody pays. And I can't remember. It was like 2 years ago. Like there hasn't been a bit. They finally just tore the stadium down, but nobody was keeping up. It's like the city didn't want to put money into it. Nobody wanted to invest it into it, and there was I'd have to go back and try to remember if I could. One of the bowl games here, and whatever the visiting team was, I remember there was a journalist that did a big spot on it ahead of time. Is excited to come in here because on Google they saw, man, there's this big stadium, there's a minor league baseball team here, there's a fairgrounds. They're all excited to come and explore. And then he wrote an apology article after and said, nobody told me that the baseball stadium on the other side of the parking lot looked like something out of a Resident Evil game.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking like weeds and stuff growing in between the seats, and it was ridiculous. I've never understood why the money was just put on one half of the parking lot and not the other. It just got run down. And there was no way to fix it up at this point. It just got horrible. So we used to have baseball here.
yeah. Well, hey, I was going to ask you too. How was it hanging out with Gil?
Oh man,
Gil is the best, man.
That dude is a trip, man. And of course, him being I've been to New Orleans several times, but I'm not the Bourbon Street bar crawler guy, so I kind of stay away from that scene. So I've gone for like concerts, I've gone for games, but I haven't just gone to hang out, right?
Yeah.
And I just never have. I really don't have a reason. And I had to go down there for, something on Saturday morning. I was like, screw it, let's just make a weekend out of it. Messaged him, kind of, cold call, and dude came and picked us up at the hotel and took us down. We walked Canal Street and French Quarter, and we just spent hours walking around hanging. He took us to some shops and stuff that some food that he knew that he liked. And we passed like 8 cigar shops down there. I didn't realize there were that many down there. And
in the French Quarter?
Yeah, between Canal Street and the French Quarter, which is just blocks away from each other. It's right there. And we took us, we went by Cuban Creations. We didn't go in it this time. We smoked in Crescent City Cigar, which is an older, smaller venue, but the staff is super friendly. We watched some football while we were in there hanging out for a couple. The one that he usually parks in front of because of its central location is Smoke on the Water. I bought some stuff from him. Went and talked to the owner there. Chad, you would love that one. He's the whole, both walls, instead of him having like a big walk-in humidor, the walls of pretty much the entire shop are lined with cabinet humidors. All of the stuff you love to smoke. I mean, you had all of the brands that we talk about. I mean, you would not have imagined that he had this much stuff. It's kind of like Ronnie, who just crams and he's got everything somehow.
Right.
It was like that. But there was several others. And I'm going back down in November. Gonna try to catch up with him again. And then our other Haul Down fam, Ted, he was busy. I'm gonna try to link up with him and Gil when we go next time. But I'd say he was a chill dude, man. I could see. I told him real quickly that I was jealous of you because you'd gotten to meet him twice in person, and I'm closer and had never met him in person yet. But he's a good dude.
We hung out one time. He came all the way up here for the God of Fire event, and that's when we really got to hang out for like 2 days straight.
Right.
And then when I was going to PCA, he's like, "What time's your flight come in?" And I'm like, "Whatever." I told him. He's like, "All right, I'll be at the airport to pick you up." That's the kind of guy Gil is. And so I didn't drive anywhere. Gil, I think I had to take an Uber to back to the airport, but he drove me around all weekend. He's such a great guy. And like I didn't ask, he just like, I'm coming to pick you up. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I won't argue with you.
like we talked about, because we stayed at a hotel just a couple blocks, away from Canal. So it was like, okay, we're just gonna walk. Drove my truck, left it there, parked it, and he said, "Hey, I'll just meet y'all there. We'll just walk around." I was like, "All right." Well, we come outside. He says he's there, and I can't find him. And he pops out of his car, and he's like, "I never said I was walking y'all around." Like, oh, so he just drove us around, and we drove until we got in the quarter, and then you kind of have to walk. So,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Gil is my guy. He's a good people.
Yeah, man. Every time he's on the show, when we do our herpidors and stuff, man, and he's a good dude.
He's chill too.
so,
He's just a good dude. Teddy will liven the party up in a hurry though. Wait till you meet Teddy.
that's kind of what he
My
said.
dog. He's fun though. He's a good guy.
I didn't realize, and I won't go into there without them being on the show, but I didn't realize that they were work partners. That's how the two of them met. Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him, like, how do you know Teddy? He's like, oh, he used to be my partner. I was like, oh, so you legitimately know this guy. It's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He knows him really well.
So, looking forward to
lots
meeting
of
him
years together.
And it's fun, like at some point, we have talked about it, but us being on opposite parts of the country, it's a little tough. For him, it's just 5-hour drive, but yeah, it's cool when you can actually finally meet people in person that you become friends with. And
yeah,
I'm gonna be corny for a second. We talk about our friendship therapy on the show. If it wasn't for these, we wouldn't have met or been friends. So it's kind of cool what the cigar world can do for you, and bonding and friendships and stuff. And when you actually get to meet somebody, it's awesome.
I'm hoping if the stars align this year, or not this year, actually next year, 2026, I'll be coming down to NFG. So Ryan should be looking into maybe clearing that week too.
Oh.
We can all meet up. Gil said he's game.
They haven't posted. It's a little early for them to post the specific date. And so far, I've been lucky. The last couple of years, it's been an off weekend. I didn't have to facilitate anything, and I'm hoping it turns out where I can get over there again. And if not, I'll do everything I can to facilitate it. But I need the date to figure out what my work schedule is going to be. But it's a good place, man. We talk about NFG a lot. It's in size, like physical size. You're going to walk up, because the first thing I did, I was like, this is it. And you're sorely mistaken very quickly. So it's the way that it is set up and it's handled. It's just a great thing. So I'm hoping you can
Eldon goes. I'm sure he'll go again this year.
Eldon goes. Gordon from Cigar goes.
Yeah. David Skelton will be there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's been there for he'd been going longer than I realized. There's a lot of
Madison
guys
will be there.
Madison will be there. Terrence Riley most likely will be there. I mean, a lot of guys that y'all have heard. And then Eric Bay from Black Star Line. If he's not there, one of his reps are there. Definition Cigars is there. Of course, the Cigars for Warrior guys are there. Storm CEO was there this year. He goes wherever he can, but regional reps and guys will be there. Warfighter Tobacco's there. I mean, a lot of the guys that we talk about,
right?
Yeah. Some we know in person, some we don't. I mean, it's just a lot of cool people crammed in a small space without it being something as crazy and hectic as like the PCA was, where it's a more regional event, but you still got so many cool people there hanging out.
Did Greg say he was going back?
He planned on it. He just missed. He pretty much missed the date this last year. He would have been this year, so he's planning.
He'll probably be there this year too.
He's hoping to. He said as long as it doesn't conflict with something he's already got scheduled, he's planning on going back. So hopefully he'll be there again. So just a lot of cool people to walk around and talk to, and if you're not in line quickly on the sales, you potentially miss some sales because their stuff goes quick, especially because there's a lot of event only stuff.
All the limited stuff, right?
Right. There's a lot of stuff that's made only for that event, and the only sales that may happen is if there's any leftovers, they put them in Underground Cigars shop, and then once they're done, they're done. So, but outside of the sales, then it's just open tent. It's basically a big ass herf session. You know, they have food out there. It's just once the sales part is done, it's just hanging out. I said it's like it's a big ass lounge event, and it turns out to be really cool. And that's how I met David Skelton. It's just you get to talk to people, meet people. You know,
I'm
get
trying to
poked
think
in the eye by Terrence Riley.
Who else from the group went?
We may have hit them all.
Yeah.
Me, Justin, Eldon, Carol, Gordon. I think as far as our like non-rep style people in the group, I think that was the people that drove. There's just a lot of people in the group that are also reps and owners that we've had the pleasure of meeting that are there, but
it's earlier than spring break time, right? Like it's before spring break.
It's usually like around the second weekend of March in that time frame.
Okay.
The spring break for us is usually like the end of March.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's usually right before that time frame. But they usually post that information on Instagram before they release it anywhere else. So that's usually where, like, Justin follows Instagram a lot harder than I do. So he'll usually text me and be like, hey, they posted it. Here's the info. So Justin will usually take care of the scheduling before I ever have to look up anything. But it's,
right.
You know, he's 15 minutes from there. So it's one of his home locations. You know, he's got a few sprinkled right there. He's got access to fantastic. I'm kind of jealous where I got to, like, you've got Secreto an hour. I've got Tobacco Junction an hour. You know, Ryan, I forget. You said it. I don't forget.
Yep.
Yeah, Tobaccology.
Yep.
Where we have to do little drives. Justin is like a few minutes away from several. He's in like prime location of you know, the Fort Worth area to just have.
The one he was saying was like 7 minutes from his house or something. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a nice big shop apparently. Like 7 minutes, he said.
There's another one. I forget which one. I can spit off 8 to 10 names of there, but I forget which one is where. But there's so many shops in DFW, but he's just in a prime location where he's just minutes away from. Dude can just take a pick which one he wants to go to for the day, and there's so many great ones. It's a great spot. I'm jealous.
That's awesome.
I got a bunch of shops around me, but I don't have all these true lounges. There's a bunch of bars that you can smoke in, but there's only like 2 lounges, and one of them is upscale, top shelf, dress code. The other one is still going to take me 20, 25 minutes to get to, which isn't terrible. It's just all the rest of them are just purchase-only shops, you know?
If he has access to that many lounges, then everything in his life he must have that much access to, like stores, restaurants, because you don't plop 8 giant, you know, places with lounges in a desolate area. He's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be just a metropolis down there.
I mean, the facts alone will tell you Cigars International, national company, and they only pop up in major venue areas. And there's 2 in Dallas, Fort Worth.
How far is he from the main one?
20 minutes, probably.
Wow.
There's one, and the one that we do the event at is the one in Fort Worth, but there's another one in Dallas. On the other side of the metro. But I mean, there's just, and sometimes when Ellen and I just want a getaway weekend, we'll literally just drive over to DFW, pick a different spot to stay with, whether we're staying with a friend or we're staying at a hotel, and we won't have a plan because you don't need one. Just wake up like, hey, what do you want to do? It's just, there's so much over there.
Just roll out and find something to do.
Yeah, it's easy. So I am intrinsically jealous.
You'd have to be just about out of cigar, huh?
I've been trying my best.
Wow. We're in the same spot.
I've been having to consciously, which we've done this before on other cigars, but because of its size, I've been consciously not chugging.
Yeah.
Because I usually smoke, you know, since I had the Robusto in this one, I usually do this like, if I'm going to smoke this one, a lot of times it's right after work when I need my shorter cigars before I go to bed. And that's when I'll pull this out. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to make the safe assumption if you're holding that long to show it up, it's not. Do that again, Chad.
Yeah, it's
It's not overly hot, not killing your fingers.
So it's warm, but most cigars at that point are scalding if you hang on to them right there.
And we've talked about Hendo and how he, their whole team is high on quality for construction and blending and rolling. So
yeah, it's that accordion style bunching. I think for me, I love that style of rolling because it creates so much airflow.
It does.
Lots of guys hate it, but I like that kind of a draw.
I'm not as picky on like fine tuning where the draw resistance is. I'm good with an airy cigar and I'm good with a tight draw, not overpacked tight, but like that just good resistance kind of. I'm good anywhere in that ballpark. But ADV stuff, as you have said routinely, has an airy open draw, but it's not to the point that it's like it's underpacked type of airy. It's smooth airy. You're getting good flow, so you're getting good burn and combustion. You get all the smoke output like you just pushed out on cue. It's just very smooth, very clean, well rolled. It's just positive airflow with still having a ton of tobacco in there for flavor. Done very well. So
yeah, I'll say it again. I've never had a bad construction on an ADV. Not one single time. So, and I've smoked hundreds of them. So
right, if not thousands at this point.
Not thousands. We'll stick with hundreds.
Stick with hundreds.
Yep.
So it's a very good construction. I put them up there at the top of the list when it comes to quality control and construction. It's definitely on point as a brand in general.
So what's your overall, Ryan, now that you're done?
I have to say the middle and the second, third were delicious. Very, very good. The coffee just complements that all the way through, with a little bit of wood taste, but I mean, just phenomenal. It starts out with a nice intro on the palate with that nut and creaminess, and it just settles in so smooth and effortlessly. I mean, it really does. And then even down, I mean, we're all down to nubs.
Right.
And like you said, the heat is not there. You're not feeling the burn on your lips, and it's not feeling like it's just washed out. So you're being able to enjoy the whole cigar, like all the way down.
Yeah, my last third is a little more linear. Like it's just a little. I'm getting coffee and some wood, but it's not bad. But it's the first 2/3 are my favorite for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I get all the spice, and I get not enough that I cannot completely agree on the floral. It's there in aroma for me. It's at the beginning, and then it goes away, and it's just I primarily get the mix of spice, that good balanced pepper, and the wood tone for me after about an inch is just consistent the whole way.
Yeah,
for sure. Coffee for me. I had lots of coffee, for sure.
Well worth the wait.
So
there you go.
You kind of said this. I'll ask you formally. Everybody says is it box worthy or not, but I like to add one extra. Is this box worthy, rotation worthy, or single worthy? Where do you land it?
Oh, this is obviously box worthy. Absolutely.
I kind of figured you in that way, but
Yeah, I think my next box of these will be Corona. I'm really digging the Corona format. I just bought a box of Queen's Pearls in Corona, and I really like that. So I've smoked a couple of the Blue Eye Jacks in Corona, and
you're gonna make me.
It has a little tighter. It has a little tighter draw, which I kind of like, but it's still not tight, right? But it's just a little spicier. I don't know. I just like it a little better. It's different too. I smoked a whole box of Toros. Now I want to smoke a box of Coronas. Kind of work through those.
You're making me. I'm gonna have to go pull one of those out. I've got them in standby in that bag from TGS, but you're gonna make me go pull it out because I haven't had
the other one I really like in Corona is the King's Gold. Oh my goodness, I like that one in Corona.
That one I know for sure. That one is killer.
Yeah.
But
that's killer in all formats, really. But
I'm predisposed to this, but obviously considering I pulled this out of my box of, definitely box worthy for me. And I don't buy boxes, and Chad knows this. Like when when Ronnie was on the show, he, before we were recording, he asked, he's like, how many orders have you placed with us? I was like, if you look up my name on your shop so far, you're not going to see my name because I don't buy boxes of almost anything. And it's just his online model of boxes. So I was like, but I've smoked a lot of your stuff. It just facilitates through Chad.
That's right.
It's like, I just don't do boxes of many things unless it's, a big sale or something. But this and the Barbaro are the two that I get boxes of from ADV. All the rest of them I'll get packs and bundles and, stuff. But so this one's definitely box worthy for me for sure. But I'm glad that, one, that you liked it, Ryan, as much as we felt you would. And two, that Justin allowed us to go ahead and smoke this when he wasn't able to come on, because I think you might have hurt somebody if we told you we had to wait again.
I appreciate it, bro.
So, anyway, so I'm glad you liked it. Good show. Good smoking. And, I guess we'll wrap it up because we're all pretty much running out of cigar here, and that's kind of a good timetable for us. I'm glad I didn't run out prematurely because I had a feeling I was going to, but somehow I managed to slow myself down a little bit. But good show, gents. I'm glad, as always, y'all able to come out. And like we say every time, you guys are watching, leave us some comments. You can drop it down. If you're watching this on YouTube and leave a comment, you can always email us at thehollowdown@gmail.com.
No hate mail.
Chad's going to beat me to it. No hate mail. So, but we'll take anything that you want to say to us. We love the feedback. So keep it coming. But y'all know the drill. Until next time, stay safe and hollow down.
See you.
See you, everybody.